everybody, it's Meredith Miller with Inner Integration. Today, the topic I have for you is why do narcissists and sociopaths cry? Sometimes I hear clients say that they doubt their abuser is actually a narcissist, sociopath, psychopath, etc. because they've seen them cry. Usually, this is in reference to my client telling the abuser that they're going to leave, or this happens when they call out the abuse, or even sometimes during movies, TV shows, and news. I suspect there could be a few different dynamics going on here, but I think the bottom line is the same. They're crying for themselves, not for you. The best expression for most of the situations where you will see one of these abusive people cry is crocodile tears. In case you're wondering where the word crocodile tears, the phrase crocodile tears comes from, Wikipedia says the expression comes from an ancient anecdote that crocodiles weep for the victims they are eating. A collection of proverbs attributed to Plutarch suggests that the phrase crocodile tears was well known in antiquity, comparing the crocodile's behavior to people who desire or cause the death of someone, but then publicly lament for them. So some of these abusive people, the more covert they are, the better they are at their performances. And some of them are really, really good at their performances. Sometimes their tears might be real. It's just that they're probably not crying for the reason that you think or want to believe. I've been observing this, looking back in my own memories of experiences with abusive people who have cried, and then through listening to many different clients telling me during our coaching sessions about moments when their abusers cried. The thing about these types isn't that they all have zero emotion, and I think that might be one misconception that we can get reading through some of the literature. Sometimes they have a lot of emotion about themselves, but rarely do their emotions empathize with you or anyone else. Their emotions are about themselves. So even their emotions are narcissistic. They're usually crying because it gets them attention, some kind of narcissistic supply in the form of sympathy or your benefit of the doubt or you doing things out of pity for them. And cluster Bs often play the victim, so the tears will come with that role. They're crying, for example, when you're ready to leave because they're going to lose their source of narcissistic supply, not because you're selfish for leaving and not because they love you and realize that they might lose you if they don't become a better person. They're crying because they think you're so cruel for saying that they're abusive, or they're shocked and hurt that you think they were so cruel. I've heard both of those. Not because they're ashamed of what they did and want to make things right. They're crying at the happy ending in the movie or some event in the news or celebrity gossip show, maybe because a celebrity or a movie character is happy or has something that the narcissist doesn't have. And sometimes it's about the drama fest of, oh my God, it's just so awful what happened to so-and-so. Did you hear? And they get into all of that disgusting drama, gossip stuff, and then the tears start flowing. They're crying the loudest at funerals because this gets them narcissistic supply in the form of attention or sympathy, not because they genuinely loved the person who died or cared about the person beyond their mere function of giving them narcissistic supply and meeting their insatiable needs. So yes, it's definitely possible to see abusive people cry, but if you really, really pay attention and you don't get sucked into their pity ploy or your own fantasy of what you hope it means that they're crying, if you really observe them, you will see just how hollow their tears are. So feel free to share in the comments any insights that you're having listening to this now about narcissists from your past or people that you're still with. Or maybe I didn't mention something that you picked up on that you noticed. Feel free to leave those below in the comments, and I'm sending you all a big hug.